Welcome to Choice Care Group, where we strive to deliver positive outcomes for people with complex needs. We specialise in the care of adults aged from 16 upwards with learning disabilities, mental health disorders and complex emotional and behavioural difficulties in care homes and individual tenancies across Berkshire, Wiltshire, Hampshire, Gloucester, Sandwell in the West Midlands and Oxfordshire. Edwina Johnston is the CEO of Choice Care Group and has a very hands-on knowledge of the company, the staff and the people Choice support.
I joined the Choice Care Group in 2002 as Finance Director, and I became the Chief Executive in 2009. Prior to joining the Choice Care Group, I've worked for very different types of companies that were nothing to do with care at all. And prior to that, I qualified as a chartered accountant with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I think it was really about working for a business where you felt something useful was being done, and you could actually see some, visible evidence of contributing towards that business. I think I'm most proud of is the quality of the care that we deliver, because without a good quality of care, we don't have a business. We're not able to deliver the good outcomes to service users, and also that means that staff don't have a very good time either. So actually, it's a balance. What I also really enjoy seeing is the fact that the service users have so many have so many achievements. And it is always supported by staff who just go that extra mile just to make that happen. And I see that time and time again, and that makes me really proud. Well, within the Choice Care Group, we have a fairly flat management structure, which means that there isn't a lot of layers down to the actual homes themselves, which is where the services are being delivered. And we have very rigorous reporting at all levels, and obviously those are the reports that I'm getting copied into. We have regular meetings with area directors who are responsible for say 7 or 8 homes. I also visit the homes regularly, and I'm also deliver training courses to the various management development programmes within the group, which enables me to keep in touch with people a bit low down the organisation. We also have the fabulous opportunity to meet staff and service users at the various events that we hold, such as the Choice Has Got Talent competition or the Ocknell Park Olympic torch relay party that we held, and lots of different functions like that happen across the group. Well, as a basic principle, we work on the basis that we're completely transparent with our purchasers about our fee structures. They've got an obligation to achieve best value, and we've got an obligation to make sure that we obtain a required return to make sure that we can deliver services safely. We're very used to working with a whole range of costing tools, some of which are the Care Fund Calculator and the South East Costing Tool, but we'll very happily work with whatever tools the local authority is using. And we're very prepared to be open book about it, but there does have to be a recognition by the local authorities that we can't deliver a very good service for a very low fee. And so it's a question of you pay for what you get, basically. We've got an awful lot bigger. Whilst that's been a very good thing, it also has been quite a challenge to make sure that we still kept the personal touch, which I think we still do, so that we still feel like we know all our service users and a lot of our staff as well, although obviously that becomes increasingly difficult. The actual regulatory environment and the way that the purchasers, the local authorities behave is actually quite different as well. We're under much more scrutiny in terms of showing that we can deliver fair value to the local authorities. And finally, I think really, although Choice was always about delivering really good outcomes for service users, I think there's a much more of a focus on that. And I think all of those things are positive things, really.
Our aim is to be creative in devising individualised packages of support and promote positive care pathways, offering a menu of services that can be delivered in whatever way suits the individual at that particular point in their life, no matter what their difficulties or behavioural history. We provide personalised residential support and supported living and have considerable experience in supporting people with a wide range of complex needs. There are 2 distinct groups of service users who we work with, those with a learning disability and those with a mental health disorder, although of course individuals can experience both conditions on a continual or periodic basis. Many of the people we support with a mental health disorder have spent years in institutional settings, such as prison or inpatient hospital services, where they have presented significant risk to themselves or others. For these individuals, our aim is to work with them on their recovery.
I've been in altogether 33 years. Started off in prison, did 16 years in there, and I'm now on to my 17th year in hospital. And now I'm a free man.
I've been in hospital since I was 14. This is the longest I've stayed in the community. It's because I'm getting the help and support I need. And if it weren't for here, I'd be back in hospital.
This has been the best placement I've had in the whole 16 years. I'm a lot happier here than I have been in. When I look back now, I realise how awful it was.
Well, when I struggle, they help me a lot. They give me time to talk. They might take me for a coffee and have a chat over a coffee. And I find the whole staff in the place very nice. And I think they do a good job.
If my voices are bad, I need to ground out, and that requires going to talk with someone, even just discuss the weather, just to ground me out. So I'm pretty good. Staff are terrific. More often than not, I play games, Scrabble, backgammon, things like that.
With the meals, we choose what we like to eat instead of having powdered egg and things like that. And I find on the whole the choices are very good in service of support. It's always there when you need it. And when you're living with a lot of people, not just 6 or 8, but 20 odd, they haven't got time.
My grandchildren came up and they made feel very welcome, no problems. They played in the garden, and my little granddaughter, who was 5 at the time, absolutely loved it. And because I was the only one here, she thought it was my house. She kept saying, "I love your house, Nana."
Every night I phone my sister. We keep in contact. We have done almost incarcerated time. When I was in prison, she used to come and visit me regular. She lives in Guernsey, so it's quite a distance, so I get 2 visits a year. She comes over to see me twice a year. But as I say, I keep in contact with her every night.
Once a week I'd see my daughters in Hythe. And I go to the gym, which I've stopped for a little while, but going back in September after not being well. And then I do my food shopping, which I enjoy doing.
Staff's mainly cut for me, but I do my best to help. Because I've never had to do it, you know. And the support going out on buses, going to see my friend Vicky. I get support like Sunday, they're going to drop me off, that's support. Right, because there's not buses and staff are very good to do it. They don't seem anything's too much. Sometimes
I go shopping in Southampton, maybe go with the member of staff, or I've been with Georgie to Southampton.
You know, I get on well with Karen, we go out for coffee, we go shopping, she makes me spend money that I haven't got. And Tony, he's a nice man. I get on with him, we all get on with each other.
Fishing's terrific. I can sit there all day and just watch them. And not bother if I don't catch anything. That's a fisherman. And I used to cheat when I was out. I worked on a trawler.
The people we support who have a learning disability come from a variety of backgrounds, including specialist school and college facilities, community placements that may have broken down, and hospital assessment and treatment services. Many are also, of course, looking to leave the family home for the first time, either as a young adult embarking on the exciting first stage of their independent adult life, or as someone whose relatives are no longer able to care for them at home. We work closely with the families of the people we support and fully respect the fact they are often the people best placed to advocate on behalf of their loved ones.
What do you like to do with your time?
I spend most of the time with them.
You don't!
I did.
You always tell me that, but you tell me also. What else do you do?
Watch Mostly football.
Oh, football. Let me guess, which team is your team? Chelsea? Are they doing well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Top.
Top? Oh, well, they would be, wouldn't they? What's the best thing that you've done since you've been living at Rowan Cottage?
Becoming independent.
Become more independent? Oh.
Dutton.
So did you make your own, you made your own meals today? Did you all sit down together or did you have it on your own?
I had to have mine first before I went to come here.
Oh, because you had to have your lunch early, did you?
Yeah.
Because you were coming for your interview.
Yeah.
And who's making dinner tonight?
Dunno.
Do you take it in turns?
Yeah.
And do you sometimes go out for dinner? Or get a takeaway?
Get a takeaway.
Get a takeaway. Which takeaway do you choose to have?
Lemon chicken.
Lemon chicken. Oh, nice.
That's Becky's tree. You know, I got the grass.
Yeah. Trunkwell.
Trunkwell.
That's it, yeah.
And also cut the grass.
So that's a gardening job that you've got, yeah?
Yeah. Then also do.
And I've heard that you do staff training as well. Is that right? What staff training do you do?
First aid training.
You do first aid training? Who do you do that with?
Becky.
And Becky's manager of your house, isn't she?
No, she's not.
And she's now area director.
Yeah.
And so now you've got Fatima, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what certificates did you bring today?
F-pens.
Should we have a look?
Roger.
What you got? Oh! This is your certificate to say that you are a trainer in EpiPen administration. Yeah. So how often do you see your family?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday?
No, every third week.
Oh, every third week? And who helped you choose the place to live? Oh, yeah, I did help you, didn't I? But who else helped you?
Who?
Your mum and dad?
Yeah, they helped me.
Yeah. And then you go home every third week?
Yeah. I thought so next Friday I'm here again.
You're here next Friday? What are you doing here at next Friday?
Service users.
Committee?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been on the service user committee for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Whether the person we are supporting has a mental health disorder and is seeking opportunities for rehabilitation and reintegration back into the community, or someone with a learning disability looking to continue their personal development and ongoing education, support and encouragement to engage in activities and meaningful occupation is a large part of the overall care package we provide.
Hi, my name's Glenn Satterthwaite. I own the Fairview Gardener. I bought the place about 3 years ago now and took Ian on when we first bought the place. Ever since we've had Ian working for us, he's been a valuable member of the team, and his role basically is to keep the place looking tidy, keep it weed free, and just sort of whatever else is needed at different times of year.
My name's Ian and I work Fairview Gardener. I've been working here for 6 years. I enjoy weeding because it's part of my job. Because I gotta keep this place tidily when like customer comes round.
Yeah.
Because they don't like seeing weeds everywhere. I said if I work even harder, and eventually I'll probably be full-time.
Exactly. Been really pleased with what he's done since we've taken the place on, making it weed-free and a nicer place for my customers to walk around. And he does a good job at that.
Our properties are very much a home from home and designed around the specific needs of the people who live there. In all properties, there is both a communal space to allow for social interaction and quiet areas for when people prefer to be on their own. We offer an exceptional carer to service user ratio, and all of our homes achieved a rating of good or excellent under the old CQC rating system, with an exceptionally high standard of compliance achieved by all homes inspected under the Health and Social Care Act. Supported living is where an individual has their own tenancy, either single or shared, and support is provided to them in their own home. Where the individual is still living within the family home, the care package delivered is often referred to as community support. For some individuals, their care package may consist of as little as 1 or 2 hours a week. For others, however, the support delivered may be on a 24-hour basis, with either waking or sleep-in night support. We have supported many individuals with a mental health disorder to move on from hospital into a community residential placement, and then to realise their dream of moving into their own tenancy, holding down a job and once again becoming a fully integrated member of society. The same is true of those with a learning disability, and the style of accommodation and support they receive may well change over time, depending on where they are at that particular time in their life. A residential service may be what best suits some individuals on an ongoing basis. Others may move on to a supported living placement following a period in a residential home. Others might move directly from home or school into their own supported living tenancy.
I work on the radio. On the radio, I do the database, type in the name of the songs, the artist, move it across, say what each song is coming up, and do a bit of talking to introduce the songs. I enjoy living with my friends. I like living with my friends. I would like to live on my own. I find it lonely. Go to like on a Monday, go to like Be Heard, which is an AFSI group meeting, which is where I find out if everything's going on with disabilities, and learn to speak up for myself and to find out what meetings are going on for people with disabilities. And what I normally do on a Thursday is when I get up, I get ready, make sure everything's clean and tidy, and get ready, have breakfast. Then on a Thursday, I go out normally on a bus to town to building, which is a charity called Headspace, which is a charity building where I do drama from 10 till 3, and I have lunch there. Yes, I am independent in the community. I can go to town by myself, and go to different groups by myself. Don't need staff from me all the time. Sometimes I need staff, but not all the time. I either get a lift in the staff cars, or my friend's car, or if I can't go in there, I go on the bus or taxi.
One of the key components of choice that sets us apart from the other care providers and enables us to support individuals with highly complex needs is the fact that we have our own in-house psychology team and psychiatric consultants.
I'm Bethan Whiteman, I'm a counselling psychologist. I've actually worked for Choice for a very long time, nigh on 18 years. Started from my psychology degree as a support worker in one of our homes, learning right from the grassroots level, very valuable experience. And through that and further various trainings over the years to become a counselling psychologist, changing roles a number of times to be the counselling psychologist for Choice that I am today.
Yeah, my name's Catherine, I'm assistant psychologist for Choice. I graduated from Birmingham University, and I've worked in various settings in the field of learning disability mainly. So I've worked in a special needs school and also worked as a support worker.
My name is Anise Fotheringham, and I got my first class honours degree in psychology through the Open University. I started my career in psychology working at a special educational needs school. I taught psychology there for a while, and I worked with disenfranchised pupils and their families. And now I'm working for Choice, working with the adult sector and helping with the mental health needs of our service users.
I think it's a different face having psychology for staff. It's a different face they can go to for a different aspect on things, or maybe some different advice. Certainly the assistant psychologists, they're on the front line every week. Staff get to know them well, so they know what they can go to them about, whether that just be a difficult incident that they want to discuss, or whether it be more about getting an approach right and they're not sure how things are working. But having that face there and psychology right on the ground floor level all the time makes that really effective for staff. They feel supported by psychology.
One of the things that we try to do is to help them to put themselves in the position of the service user and how the service user might feel, and help them to understand it from that perspective.
Lots of areas that we get involved in, whether that's directly with service users on one-to-ones or indirectly through staff and guiding them in the best way to work with individuals. We train staff particularly in 4 areas, being communication, intensive interaction, autism and positive behavioural support, which is our main focus of approach that we use with our service users.
What's really important with psychology is that we draw from various areas to formulate what the service users need individually. We work with many other professionals as a multidisciplinary team, so we might work with speech and language therapists, with a psychiatrist, to make sure that the service users can achieve their full potential.
The service that we offer to service users, we currently have myself as a counselling psychologist and 3 clinical psychologists that work with us. And then we have a team of 10 assistant psychologists that work across the homes. Obviously myself and the other clinical psychologists, our focus is on supervising all the work and all the psychology input that goes on within the homes. And really our assistant psychologists are the front runners of that work within the home. So each assistant psychologist will have 4 to 5 homes that they cover. They'll try and get to see each home every week, so they're really well known within the homes. They'll have good relationships with service users and really know the issues within the home. So it's a very ongoing process that we're fully part of.
I'm interested in service users' individual needs, so things like self-esteem, and me and Anise actually ran a self-esteem group for several service users within the company, and that went really well. Also got a big interest in the area of communication, particularly intensive interaction and Makaton, and putting that in place for individual package in place for each service user. And also in eating disorders, I also volunteer as a group facilitator for a charity called Beat outside of work, so that's another area of interest.
I'm very interested in intensive interaction for Choice Care Group as a whole, and also sort of sensory needs and communication areas, something I'm focused on.
I'm interested in the research in the background of autism. Nobody knows why people have autism. There's lots of theories, and I've enjoyed learning about that. The other area of interest, particular interest for me, is self-esteem. I believe that if people feel well about themselves emotionally, that has an impact on their mental health as well, and that's a hugely important area in this field of work.
The overall arching emphasis of having psychology involved is to improve psychological well-being, which will improve quality of life.
We're able to give people that are maybe non-verbal a voice.
Care packages include the use of tools such as the Recovery Star and Honos, and therapies such as intensive interaction for those individuals with autism and severe communication difficulties. In 2012, we held our first intensive interaction conference.
I believe that today's conference is going to make a massive difference within our company, because it's enlightened people to understand a little bit more about why we do it and what we want to achieve.
It's been really exciting for me to hear as a parent of a son who's got autism. I think if you manage to do that, throughout the houses you've got, it's a brilliant idea. I really hope that you're able to pull it off, and I can really see the benefit for the service users at Choice Care.
I found them fascinating. The enthusiasm of the first Malvina, was it? And the really the understanding of the second chap is tremendous, really wonderful.
I've found the conference so far to be really, really interesting. It's great to see our staff up there talking so enthusiastically about interaction. Also really, really enjoyed the guest speakers as well. Been great.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a way of reducing anxiety for people who've got enormous amounts of anxiety. I think it's so good it could do me out of a job.
PECs, social stories, pictorial timetables and the latest communication technology is used routinely across the homes that support individuals with communication difficulties and autism. Throughout our homes, assistive technology is used to aid independence and autonomy and maintain the safety of service users and staff. Whether you are a commissioner looking to purchase high-quality, good value services that deliver positive person-centred outcomes, or a parent who wants to know and trust the people who are supporting your loved one, strong operational management is a must.
So I'm Tracy Lanes, Director of Operations, and I've been with Choice since 2002. Although I was with Choice before I came back to Choice, I was a homes manager with Choice from 1985 to 1992. I became Director of Operations in 2006, and so prior to that I just worked in the Choice side of things because Choice is made up of different legal entities, True Care, Orchard End and Choice. And so part of my role really has been to ensure a brand across the whole Choice Care Group of good standards in care homes for the people we support, so they can expect to receive exactly the same level of care planning, of person-centred planning, staff training, and that's what I've been doing really, and managing a team of area directors to line manage the managers in the homes. One of the most important things to us really, I think, is leadership, and we have very strong leadership in the organisation, obviously led by Edwina, but we have clear training on leadership. So for our management staff and for staff that want to become managers, we have a management development programme, and leadership is a big part of that training. We ensure that all of our staff are involved in staff recruitment. So if you're a new social care worker coming into the social care field and you're in an interview, on the other side of the table there's a person with a learning disability or a mental health problem, so you can see these are very important people right from the start. And to ensure that we provide a good culture, we do this via our staff. So we ensure that we properly train our staff, and we keep very clear records and a KPI of all the staff training that we deliver. And the things that we concentrate on, apart from the statutory things that we have to train people on, are things like safeguarding, values and attitudes, person-centred planning, so that our staff really do know how to deliver a person-centred service to the people we support. We also do annual, and sometimes more frequently, our own internal compliance audits. So basically we just inspect our homes in exactly the same way as an inspector would. And the way that we do that is that the area directors will go to each other's homes, so they're not inspecting their own homes. And they will turn up unannounced. They will spend a whole day there and they will go through all of the records, making sure that people are recording things like medication properly, that they're administering medication safely, they're reporting under safeguarding properly, and speaking to the people who live there and saying, what do you think about living here? What do you think of the staff? So basically, the other thing that is very important to us is reflective practice. So on a homes level, the way that we encourage staff to reflect is if they have to deal with an incident that is very difficult, they will then sit down with the manager afterwards and they will use what we call a critical incident analysis. So they will go through, they will look back at what's just happened and they will say, could I have done it differently? Is there any further training I might need to help me resolve that problem in future? But it's a process to make them reflect and help them to understand. The idea of reflecting is that we all think back on things and think, well, if I could have done that differently, then I might have been more successful. So it's a way of them building skills so they become more successful at supporting people and they think in a more reflective way. We have very strong values about the work that we do. We are a business, but we're driven by the values of supporting people with either learning disabilities or mental health needs, and that's what really drives us forward. And everything we do, any decision we make, is really based around our values.
We are an open, transparent organisation who have strong core values and pay close attention to the day-to-day operational management in all our services. Quality and dedicated staff are at the heart of our ability to deliver high-quality services. Within each care home, the team is led by a qualified and experienced manager, backed up by a management team and fully trained social care workers. We have a policy of never using agency staff.
The best part of my job is the rewards you get for seeing just a smile from a service user who's been unhappy, and you can do something to change that, and just, even if it's not a smile or a thank you, it's just a look in their eye that you know you've made a difference.
They make me feel really proud sometimes. When they will achieve something, I feel I achieved something back.
I feel Choice is a good company to work for because it always puts its service users first. It's all about the service users, empowering them and making sure that they've got the best quality of life that they could possibly have. It also develops its staff really well in terms of the training that it gives.
Along the way, I've done all mandatory training that you need in the health and social care sector, along with specialist training like autism, epilepsy, and learning disabilities and mental illness, mental capacity.
I was working for the company for 6 months full time when I applied for the team leader's job, and on the application form it asked for the training courses which I've been on, and I'd already been on like 21 courses by that point, and I'm still going on courses now. I've just finished a foundation management development program, and because I've just been promoted, I should be on the higher level one now as well.
My best part of my job is to make difference, as we can see the service users. When you got service users and training service users, then you see the development they have achieved. That's really the best part of it.
I'm a daycare officer. I have to do with their daily activities, the way they develop their skills, the way to be more independent, like cookery sessions that we help them live in their house more confident about themselves.
I have daily contact with the service users, so when I go into work in the morning, it's all about catching up with the service users, making sure they're all happy and that they're all settled. I have regular contact with families, so via emails, telephone conversations, so it's very regular.
I speak to the senior management on a regular basis. I email them and receive emails on a daily basis, and they're always available for support. I have regular supervisions with my line manager every 2 months, and they visit the home. They visit the home regularly, and as and when needed.
Well, I have regular contact with the senior management within Choice Care Group. I know that they're always at the end of a phone line if I need them. I can email them at any time. If I have any queries on anything, I have a line manager that I can go to.
I'd never look back. I was in retail before, and care is a lot better. It's more rewarding, and like I said before, you get paid to have fun and make the service users' lives as enjoyable as they can be. When I left retail, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I got into care because my sister worked for the company, and I've never looked back. Care is my future.
I've worked in the care sector for 19 years, nearly 20 years now. Most of that time has been spent with adults with learning disabilities and complex needs, although I have worked with children as well, with emotional difficulties and people with mental health disorders as well. You can contact us via the website or by email, but we often find the best route is just to pick up the phone and have a chat with us. There's 4 of us on the referrals team, David, Russell, Becky and myself, and we're happy to have a chat anytime. When we assess an individual, we're looking at the whole person in terms of their support needs, so we can put together the appropriate care package. We're looking at where they'd like to live, who they might like to live with, what things are important in their life. The ultimate aim of which is so we can support them to achieve as much as they possibly can in their life and lead as happy a lifestyle as possible. Commissioners will often ask for 3 assessments to take place so that they can choose the best value. And as a parent, you'd want as many options on the table to make the best possible choice for your son or daughter. The whole person, in terms of their personality, their behavioural issues, their support needs, their environmental needs. You're looking at the best possible solution and housing option that was going to make that person happy and for them to achieve as much as possible in their life. Families will always be involved where possible. We'll never take over from families. We're there to support the family and the individual. We have to remember that we're talking about individuals here as adults and respect them as adults, but there's nobody knows an individual better than their own family.
We firmly believe everyone should have the opportunity to live a healthy, active and fulfilling life, whatever their background or level of disability. And we hope that having viewed this DVD, you will see how we achieve this. So please, don't hesitate to contact us here at the Choice Care Group today for more information or to arrange a visit to one of our outstanding homes.